this is NoBSNutirition. This is episode 15 of the podcast, and we're going to talk about eating these high protein items and should you meal prep. Hey everybody, this is episode 15. Today's video, I usually talk about 2 to 3 subjects, maybe one topic, and I'll go into more detail. If you like podcasts like these, I make mini podcasts that talks about fat loss, Ozempic, and also food habits. And you can go check those out. Today I'm going to talk about the same thing you're probably hearing, your vegetables, your meat, and your produce, and what I'm going to talk about with psychology also. Okay? So stay tuned. So, we're going to start with protein. Protein foods like meat and fish. Meat and fish contains a lot of protein. Protein is an amino acid that can help you build muscle and recover. Protein is very essential if you're trying to lose weight or build muscle. Especially if you want to build muscle, it will help you with your fat loss. Also, it's good for the brain and other benefits as well. I'm not going to get into it more depth. Well, we're going to go to fruits. Fruits is like apples and bananas. Those are your micronutrients, also your carbohydrates. I highly recommend it because micronutrients does play a role with actually getting better hormone, sleep quality, and just to function overall. A multivitamin won't be the same as getting you micronutrients. Vegetables, same thing. A lot of micronutrients in vegetables. Now, a lot of people don't like vegetables because many factors, because they're ooey, they're disgusting, but they don't understand how can I make this taste good. There's many ways to cook vegetables than just boiling it and get it steamed. You can stir fry, you can put a lot of seasoning on it. There's many ways to cook vegetables. Just figured it out. I highly recommend use some oil, a little bit of oil, put some vegetables and season it. Grains like rice and potatoes has a lot of micronutrients too, but these grains like bread and rice and potatoes has probably maybe less micronutrients than maybe vegetables or apples, but it's good complex carbs that is easy to digest. It's more slow digesting, some of them, like a potato than a rice, but if you want easy carbs, of course, potatoes and rice, and of course extra. Dairy. Now dairy, this is not a meat, this is obviously milk and eggs. Has also is a protein source as well, so I want you guys to keep in mind there's a lot of protein in eggs and milk. Don't worry about the cholesterol. A lot of people worry about cholesterol so much, but your cholesterol will get ruined if you keep eating these high processed foods. So I'd rather have a client that eating all this high cholesterol stuff than eating these processed foods, because overall their cholesterol is going to dimper over time. And of course we have to make sure the variables, and we have to be careful with their own blood markers and their history and their past. But most of the time the LDL will go down as a result because they're building more muscle or having better exercise than before. So the HDL will considerably go up and it will damper. Warning! So this is the real subject I want to talk about. There's a lot about these diets. I'm not calling these diets bad like keto and carnivore, but at the end of the day, you want to eat what the fuck you want. You want to eat foods that you like. If you don't like fucking broccoli, don't eat broccoli. That's simple. Everyone gets so food focused and watch a lot of food porn like, oh my god, my days of eating, or my days of eating keto, is keto the secret, or should I do this diet, should I do that? The reason why people go through these diets thinking they're magical because you lose a lot of weight on the scale, but people do not understand that weight is mostly water weight. And of course I'm not saying these diets are bad because they are not myths. These can possibly work for different people, but most of the time it restricts. And that's the point. It puts to restrict so you can focus on one food group to actually see the most bang for your buck. But the problem with those diets who are super strict, it doesn't want you eat, it doesn't want you, how will I say this? It doesn't allow for a lot of error. So if you spending time with your family, let's say you're eating pizza, right? You can't eat that pizza because you're on keto. And that can damper a lot of relationships. And I'm not saying to do a 50-50 eating like shit, eating clean. I'm just saying to just eat what the hell you want, eat clean, do 80-20. So let's say you're eating 3,000 calories, right? 3,000 calories worth of food, and it's mostly whole foods. Get 20%. So let's say 500 calories, I'm pretty sure 500 calories, 600 calories of processed food. So at least you can socialize with other people and also actually be happier, because processed food, I'm not gonna lie, it tastes effing amazing. I love processed food. I love cupcakes and stuff. So it's just balancing. It's not one specific diet will work. depending who you are. Of course, if you like all food groups, if you're a person that likes every single food group, even vegetables, then you don't want to restrict. Of course, if you don't like that one food in that food group, then maybe you shouldn't eat it. Eat whatever you want. Whatever's going to work now, whatever pushes the needle now, then eating more processed food will happen over time. So if I have a client who's mostly eating an American diet for their whole life, and they eat whatever they want with whole foods, they're going to see better results than over-exaggerating and over-focusing on a specific food quality. It's just over-exaggerating the process, and we don't want stress and over-exaggerating the process, because most likely that person will probably quit or just get tired of it or have hormone balances and problems no one talks about. So that's it for that subject. Now we're going to talk about meal prep to save time. Meal prepping can have accountability. It can have adherence. So a person might actually adhere to that food, so they don't have to go to the processed food, saving money and saving time. That person who knows how to portion size, let's say you got a pound of meat, you can portion size 4 servings of meat, they will save money overall. And time as well, because they just pre-cooked it. It took an hour in one day to cook 6 meals. That saved about 30 minutes of cooking a meal each week. That saves a lot of time. Do the math. And also, saving money. People want to say, no, processed foods is very cheap and Whole Foods is really expensive. But they do not understand you do not have to buy organic stuff. You can buy stuff on sale. You have to figure it out. Even you're probably a Hispanic grandmother who likes to save money, who has like coupons, for example, loves to save money. Just learn what's on clearance. Learn in Kroger, they have deals. Learn to get buy one, get one free. Learn. Don't buy organic stuff thinking you're gonna be healthier. If you're eating if you're eating a half a tub of peanut butter because it's organic, of course you're not going to lose weight. And if you buy the most expensive tub of peanut butter, of course you're not saving money. Come on. It's pretty obvious, but the unfortunately part, the social media really focus on all these health gurus out there to tell you have to do this and that and this. It won't actually give you enough room to open your mind to problem solve for yourself. And that's the problem in today's society. We can't problem solve because we got people like them just to promote all this bullshit, I like to call it. But instead, you should just focus on saving money, what's actually going to benefit me the most, and what's actually going to help me in the long term. In the long term, will be saving money buying regular food, like 80-20 meat, versus the cupcakes or the organic 80-20 meat, saving $4 or $10, and actually portion size to save money overall the week. And also, people like to argue that processed food is cheaper. Yes, in certain parts it's cheaper, but at the same time it's not anymore. It's been 4 years since inflation went up. Of course, inflation went up every year, but since these 4 to 5 years, inflation went up increasingly high. Just because of COVID-19, all these pandemic issues, people getting sick, the economy, so many other problems. So no, processed food is not cheaper now. Yeah, I get a pizza one day out of the week, spend $15 on it, but I can still buy 2 pounds of meat and spend $15 on it, cook it, and have it for like literally the next 6 days. Like, that's how crazy it is, and people still want to argue processed food is cheaper. Of course, if you buy a pack of cookies versus a protein bar, yes, you get more cookies and it's cheaper at the dollar store. But you're eating bullshit at the end of the day. This is really supposed to actually push the needle of getting to your fitness journey. So if someone argued now, like 4 years ago, you can argue processed food is cheaper. But even though, and I still make the argument, Whole Foods is still cheaper. But now, especially, they're pretty much the same, but Whole Foods still wins. They're healthier, they're good for you, and people don't want that if they don't see no value into it. So, yeah. Okay, accountability. Well, accountability is literally having accountability. Like, hey, I need to eat this meal at this time because I cooked it on a Saturday. It's accountability. Adherence too. Same thing with accountability. Adherence is similar, but adherence is just like, I'm gonna go to this processed food. I'm gonna go to my meal prep container, eat my delicious meal prep because I seasoned it and I cooked it to my satisfaction. My beef and rice, that simple, and maybe some vegetables, and eat it because I like it, you know. And I want to also say this: make it taste good. Have seasoning. If you're gonna hate yourself enough to say put chicken, broccoli, or rice and don't make it taste good, that's kind of on you, man. Unless you're just not aware of it. But if you saw this video until now, then you should understand make things taste good. This is not the 80s. This is not the 80s. This is not the 2000s. We got way more information. Of course, that could be a negative because there's a lot of misinformation. But most of the time, even the misinformation do say season your fucking food. Just make it taste good. So, saving money too, you're saving money. Portion size. If you're eating 5,000 calories a day to maintain your weight, of course saving money is going to be a little difficult because you're eating a lot of food anyways. So you might have to turn into the processed food. That's how it goes. But if you're a typical person who's eating like 3,000, 2,500, I don't want to hear nothing from you. You're saving a shit ton of money, especially if you're portioning about like literally a portion size every serving. If you're a smaller woman, you probably need half a serving. And do the math, a pound is 4 servings of protein. Divide by 2, that's 8. And if you're a woman who needs just a half a serving of meat, then literally you could have 8 servings technically. So it's all about portion size. It's all about portion control. You just have to do a little bit of math. It's not going to kill you. And I'm not saying track calories. I would love everyone to track just to know where they're at and understand portion size. If you don't want to, then that's perfectly fine. But understand just to use your calculator and say, hey, how many grams is this? Use grams if you are tracking, or just use grams and divide it. It's not that hard. If you're on your phone 24/7 and watching this video, you can easily track it on your phone, calculate it, and figure it out. It's not that hard. People want to over-exaggerate it, or people want to watch the same content every time, like, oh, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to do this, but not taking action. And that's the point what I'm trying to talk about, is taking action and just doing it. It's the most scariest thing. You're not prepared. But at the same time, if you just take action, you'll learn throughout the process. It's going to be faster and more efficient. It's a learning curve. People need to understand. I just give all my examples. That's it for that part. The summary, we talked about accountability, adherence, saving money, saving time. Then we talked about eat what the fuck you want. It doesn't matter what diet you want to do. If you want to do a diet, be careful, because keto and all these meat-based diets do not have micronutrients that we do need. Forget about the carbohydrates. We need the micronutrients. That's a given. And a multivitamin is not the same. Yeah, we all know the answer. Eat more protein. Meat, fish, eggs, dairy. Eat more of that. You know, your doctor might say the same thing. Eat some food. Eat chicken. But they won't go in specifics. And I'm telling you what to do, what to buy. Literally get the fattier cuts of meat. So maybe chicken thighs instead of chicken breast. Maybe get 90-10. Don't go any fatter. Typically, if you go fatter, it might have more calories. So just be careful with that. So I would suggest for most people, go 93-7 meat or 90-10 maximum. And any leaner, you could go leaner, but I won't recommend it, because you do need fats to play a specific role to lose fat. Because fats regulate hormones, or helps hormones. My bad. But that's it. That's really it for today's video. I talked about meat. I talked about foods you should eat. Would I recommend saving money? Yes. Would I recommend eating whole foods? Yes. And that's it. Well, that's it for today's video. I got on a little tantrum. This is episode 15 of NoBSNutirition. I'm doing my CPT training courses. I'm trying to finish in a month right now. Trying to get that done and ready. And also I'm doing my nutrition coaching services too. I'm trying to get certified. So if you still want nutrition coaching from me, just know I don't have my certification yet, but you can still get free nutrition coaching down below if you're interested. Or if you're not interested, that's perfectly fine. I got a free Facebook group. You can learn about a lot of information like mind pump, fitness content, etc. Even though I got 87 people, I want these 87 people to know that I do care, and I honestly try and make better content each day. I don't care. I just want people to understand and learn what you can do in the process. So if you have any comments below, please comment if you got this far. If you don't, okay, I'm talking to myself. And that's it. Bye.